Hello everybody, welcome back to Off Meta Musings, where today I have for you my new player's guide, where to start in 2 minutes. So let's get going. A question that's coming up more and more by players who want to get started into the game and don't know where to begin is, where do I start? What do I need to look at? What miniatures do I need? So this guide will attempt to cover everything you need to get started in Warcry in terms of where to find the rules and which miniatures you'll need to play. Now, there are generally three routes into the game. The first is if you're already familiar with the Games Workshop hobby and have an existing Age of Sigmar army. The second is if you already have an existing Warhammer Underworlds collection. Maybe you have a few warbands under your belt and you would like to branch out in your hobby with a different kind of game. And finally, if you don't have any existing miniatures, maybe you're coming in from one of Games Workshop's other games or are completely new to the Games Workshop hobby entirely, and you wanted to get into a tight, small-scale fantasy skirmish game to really scratch that tactical itch. Your first stop is going to be the Warhammer core rules, which are free to download on Warhammer Community's downloads page. These will go over how to play the game, how to build your warband, and we'll give a couple of scenarios for you to try out. Next, every current legal fighter's profiles are also free to download. They're split over several documents that cover each faction in-game, the fighters that those factions can use, and how effective they are during your battles. Now, because Warcry is played primarily through miniatures, if you have an existing Age of Sigmar force, you can just use whatever you have along with the profiles and points in the compendium documents to make your warband, according to the rules found in the core rules, and you're good to go. If you're coming in from Warhammer Underworlds, some, though not all Warhammer Underworlds fighters are also legal. Profiles found in White Dwarf 477, so these are the Cunning Crew, Zandire's True Seekers, Black Powder's Buccaneers the Exiled Dead, as well as the Sons of Velmorn and Null Spirit packs, all have updated rules that can be used in your games. You can see in the description below for a link to my video where I talk about how to use Warhammer Underworlds fighters in your warbands, how they're included, and how they're played. Alternatively, you can use some of your Warhammer Underworlds fighters as proxies for existing Age of Sigmar fighters, and use those rules in the faction compendiums in order to make up your warband. Finally, the easiest way to jump into the game is to take a look at either of the Warcry starter boxes. Starting with the Heart of Gur and Sundered Fate, these boxes will give you 2 warbands each, along with their rules and all the terrain you're going to need to start playing. If you wanted to get into other warbands and don't have any existing Age of Sigmar miniatures to use, eBay is your friend here, as generally you won't be needing all that many of a specific miniature, and singles can usually be found at a decent price. Alternatively, there are the Age of Sigmar Start Collecting boxes that are generally good value. Warcry creator The Salty Sea has done a video specifically on budget warbands and how to build them, which you'll be able to find in the description below. Finally, if you like the look of the more individual warbands designed specifically for Warcry, you can take a look at the Warcry Warband boxes. Each contains a self-contained warband that you can use as a base to expand upon. Now, thank you very much for watching. All of the links that I've talked about during this video will be down in the description below, so please check that out. Also, check out my other content for tournament reports, faction reviews, list building ideas, and more.